Japan's former Prime Minister Abe, has died after being shot in the chest. The former Prime Minister Abe was campaigning ahead of Sunday's election for the Parliament's upper house when the shooting occurred. Police have since arrested a man in his 40s in relation to the shooting. According to public news out there, he is being held for questioning at a police station in Japan. He told police he was dissatisfied with Abe and wanted to kill him. The attack is a shock in Japan, a country with some of the strictest gun laws in the world, and where the 67-year-old Abe was a powerful figure, the son of a political dynasty. He is Japan's longest-serving prime minister, serving 2 separate terms since 2006. Now, Abe was a familiar face to 3 U.S. presidents, standing with former President Obama at Pearl Harbor in 2016. Well, switching gears now to the latest in Puerto Rico, an important new historic record number of people have arrived at the San Juan airport. This just shows the recovery and growth we've done for tourism on the island. Francis Felix reports.
Please do not leave your vehicle unattended or parked.
Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport in San Juan exceeded the figure of 10 million passengers for the first time in 15 years, according to the island tourism company. The data collected by Aerostar Airport Holdings as of May of the 2021-2022 fiscal year indicate that the total number of passengers was more than 10.4 million. Carlos Mercado, the executive director of the tourism department, also predicted that the hotel occupancy tax collection for this fiscal year will exceed $114 million. According to the tourism department, this number is historic and demonstrates the strength of the recovery and development of the tourism sector on the island. The strategies implemented to promote domestic tourism, attract visitors to the island, and help in the recovery process of the tourism industry have resulted in excellent hotel occupancy levels in all regions, said Mercado. He added that this figure reflects a significant increase of 63.7% over the $64 million collected in the past fiscal year 2020-2021. Last June, Governor Pedro Pierluisi highlighted that 2021 was a record year for tourism on the island, where the demand for accommodation was 12% higher than in 2019, and non-resident visitors spent $4.5 billion, 11% more than before the pandemic. Reporting from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Francis Felix.
All right, thanks so much, Francis. In the meantime, 5 people were due to be extradited from Jamaica to the United States to face the courts there for lottery scamming offenses, among other serious crimes. Commissioner of Police Major General Anderson said this follows police military operations led by the Lottery Scam Task Force just over a week ago, when several people were taken into custody. He said among those taken into custody at the time was a 16-year-old. 5 high-end motor vehicles were also seized. The island's top cops said police would continue to clamp down on lottery scamming, which is one of the major sources of funding for gangs and the criminal underworld in Jamaica, and is increasingly driving murder along with other violent crimes.
Lottery scamming investigations will continue to be a significant area of collaboration between law enforcement entities locally and overseas, as the proceeds of scamming are used to purchase illegal guns, pay contract killers, and sustain the operations of gangs. The involvement of young people is becoming a growing trend, and we urge parents, guardians, and teachers to be vigilant and report these activities to the police. We have seen the associated violence result in the death of family members and friends, so this is not a violence-less crime. It has had growing amounts of violence associated with it.
Well, switching gears now, there are efforts to reduce invasive fish populations at lakes in Minnesota through a process called electroshock. Reporter John Lorenstein explains what it is and how it's helped with goldfish and carp invasions.
We were catching them by the bucket loads. We couldn't even count them. There was so many.
Last year, it was open season on goldfish at lakes in Chaska and Robbinsdale, former pets that were released into the water, where they multiplied and squeezed out native fish. This summer, WSB is going after another invasive species, carp. The engineering company is trolling across Normandale Lake in Bloomington, using their electro-fishing boat to stun the fish below.
It sends electricity in front of the boat by conducting an anode and a cathode, just like a battery.
While Jordan Wine drives, environmental scientist Kyle Blazek uses a net to bring in the catch.
You have like a second, maybe half a second to really grab at them.
It's not just carp they're hauling in. Catching other fish species gives them a better understanding of how healthy the lake is. But it's the invasive carp they're targeting. Many are disposed of, while others are tagged for tracking purposes.
They're RFID tags that are very similar to what you'd put in your own home pet.
So far, the electroshock efforts used to study and reduce goldfish have worked well. Catch rates are much smaller this summer, meaning the population has declined. Wine and his crew are now hoping for similar success with carp.
I think managing those carp or knocking them back and hopefully keeping them from really rebounding will really solidify those water qualities are here to stay for the long term.